So I think my biggest learnings have been like how to build skills and foundations versus like just going about solving questions. And some of the things that I have learned previously, which were not helping me solve questions correctly, like getting the right pace in terms of building skills and not rushing through. Those have been my like tangible and intangible learnings, while also like getting to use analogies, getting to break down problems, and trying to focus more on the process and not really like getting too hung up on the whether I'm getting answers right or wrong, because I think as the process gets fixed itself, the results will show, and the results have like shown in my uh, personal practice things that I've been doing. So I think I focus more on the process this time versus some of my earlier attempts and some of my earlier preparation time. I can possibly like tell the something that is coming from the top of my mind. So with quant, I think like I do have an engineering background. So like I was always getting this 48, 49, 50, but never able to hit 51. And some like in some of my attempts, I have also not gotten 50, but 49. And I was not really able to figure out why is that happening, because as far as concepts are concerned, I'm fairly confident about those concepts, but trying to learn the process that was taught in GMAT Intensive, which is how do you basically mention all the constraints, and how do you like take things which are applicable to both statements in case of our DS questions, or like helping or trying to come up with multiple solutions to a PS questions. I think that has helped me trying to understand what are some of the things where I go wrong, because of which my like maybe getting a perfect score on 51 or maybe 50 was sometimes too volatile, and something which I was not able to exactly ascertain why is that happening, because concepts are clear, but then that score is not happening still. So those I can probably mention as some of the very tangible and specific things in quant. And coming to the verbal section, I think that making like reading slowly and making connections in CR, and of which is also applicable to other sections in verbal like CR and SC as well. I think that has been very helpful for me to understand that sometimes like even forget about the answers. Like there are parts or there are things that I don't read correctly, and like I assume or I understand the meaning completely different from what the statement or a group of statements actually mean. So that has been my biggest like eye opener and thing for me to take away from specific sections of the verbal. Has been really helpful for me to understand things that I'm doing wrong. And since I left my preparation sometime back, it was almost like 6 to 9 months that I was not preparing in between. So getting the concepts refreshed from a pre-session work and post-session is to kind of reinforce some of the learning that you do in the pre-session as well as the session. Like it basically covers the entire spectrum of concepts and topics that are taught and that are essential for the GMAT without compromising on any shortcuts, any tips and tricks, because that is something that I've tried previously and somehow it never works for me. So I felt that a combination of pre session work, post session work, and the session itself like entirely cover everything that is tested on the GMAT. That has been something that I have really appreciated. I think that the focus is not on the quantity of questions that we do, but mostly on like making sure that everything from a small or a very silly doubt that I or somebody in my cohort or batch who is taking the live session along with me, that their questions are addressed. Sometimes, if not during the actual question, but towards the end, if that is something which is like repeatedly being done. So like there is enough time and room that in case somebody is either shy or is not able to ask those questions, or like that has been already covered multiple times, then there is enough buffer and room to address those questions at the very last as well. So I think overall I am quite happy with the doubt taking and the doubt sessions within the live session component of the program. So I think GMAT specifically for people who have been preparing for a long time, like not only just the content and the style and way of teaching, but it's also like a lot of motivation and things to kind of keep you in high spirits while you are preparing. So overall, both teaching style, the motivation that is needed, other like life lessons and journey. So overall, as a package, I have found it extremely helpful. And specifically coming on the teaching part, I think the way to kind of drill down concepts into very smaller, minute parts, which can be easily digested, and using analogies, using videos, and using text materials or different delivery formats as well, along with the live session and the recording that is made available after the live session, has been extremely helpful for me to kind of go back to the same topics, same things, which I might have understood during the session, but then I want to reinforce and understand the topic better. So like I found the teaching to be extremely helpful for me. I think anybody who has either been preparing for long or is just starting out, like if they want to build solid foundations and get their concepts clarity, like I would definitely recommend this course. I think a lot of people face this score plateau during their preparation, and they're not able to understand, which essentially I have understood comes to how strong your foundations are. So I clearly remember that the first few sessions where that head start example and how it basically applies to GMAT, and that art of taking things slowly. I found that to be extremely helpful, and I would definitely recommend this course to anybody who is looking for a good quality course and content to prepare for their GMAT.